Okay, so first things first, if you're watching this video, I just want to get a couple things out of the way, okay? This is going to be a real and raw delivery. I'm going to try my best to not edit this and just deliver as best as I can in one take, simply because I want this to be the most authentic form of delivery from me, okay? Now, if you're watching this, it means that you felt that pull to want to build your business or grow your existing business, okay? Now, I have some notes here that I've written down that I want some talking points that I want to go over in this video. This is not a video to make you super motivated and like all this fake fluff and all this entrepreneurial fake BS. This is a real practical video. And essentially, the goal of this video is for you to have a full-blown identity shift happen during this video so you can become a new man. Now, does it happen overnight? Will it actually happen in this video? No. But no one's talking about this. No one is actually teaching you the fundamental steps that you need to be a successful man. Like, everyone's talking about business this, funnel this, all this, blah, blah, blah. And that's important when it comes to the business side. But before any of that, okay? Before any of that, you need to understand one thing, okay? You need to understand that you need to go through an identity shift. And if the identity shift doesn't happen, you will not be successful. So listen and bear with me. Now, I want you to understand something about me, okay? I am not just talking out of my ass, okay? I'm going to drop some facts on you, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story so you know who I am and why I believe that you should trust me, because it's likely that you've been in a similar situation as me, and there's a lot of places that we can relate. The reason that I'm making this video in this way, sit down conversation, is because of one reason and one reason only. It's because the most transformational conversations that I've ever had, the conversations that have actually caused my life to change and have, yielded massive success because of them, have been sit down conversations just like this, face to face. So that's what I'd like for this video to be. Like, you and I are sitting down face to face, and you are simply talking to a man who's done it and who's somewhere where you likely want to be. And I can literally teach you the exact identity shift and what you need to do to go through that change so you can be successful. So bear with me, guys. Listen, I didn't have a super rough childhood. I was pretty middle class. Okay. So I want to bring that to the forefront first and foremost, because I don't want to act like I had it harder than, whoever. And of course, everyone's situation is relative, but I come from a normal, like, middle class family. I didn't grow up on the streets. My parents weren't drug addicts. I wasn't like super, super poor or anything. But a couple things that did change my life, the trajectory of my life, was my parents' divorce, and I had a couple really, really bad breakups. Okay, and there was also an event that happened where I had a childhood friend take his own life. Okay, those were like the three major moments that had occurred. Okay, so you have to understand that I was not born into success. I don't come from money. I didn't go to college. I went to college for like 6 weeks. But I have built this business from the ground up. And the reason I say that I was like middle class is because I think that a lot of people, they make the excuse of like, well, I'm comfortable, right? And the truth is like, you can be comfortable in middle class, but that's the most dangerous place to be in. And that's actually where most people are, right? So again, normal middle class family. When my parents got divorced when I was like age 16, and that's really when shit hit the fan. Okay. My family went through, a lot of financial distress because of it. My pops just wasn't really in the picture. He kind of was just doing his own thing after a little bit. And I was living with my mom and my two sisters in our big house that was slowly deteriorating because my pops wasn't in the house and my mom didn't have the money to afford to upkeep the house. So we lost our childhood home. And we went from living in a nice big house, me, my two sisters, our two dogs, my brother, both my parents, to we were living in an add-on next to some, connected to someone's house from the church. From that moment on, I bounced around a lot. I was working out. I had found bodybuilding by that time. I'd been working out from like age 14ish to like 18 by that time, and I loved bodybuilding. And I was actually slowly around that time I was in prep for my first show. Now, I never had a good job. I was always job hopping because I was not skilled. So I worked manual labor, and I did that for, from age fucking 18 to 25. Literally, I worked at McDonald's, I worked at a gas station. Then I worked at, GNC, which isn't necessarily manual labor, but it's like a low paying sales job. I worked at warehouses. I did roofing, painting, construction, landscaping, you name it, right? I did all those jobs. Now, a pretty profound moment for me was when I started my coaching business years ago, like almost 10 years ago. And the reason I could never turn it into a full-time income has very much to do with this video. It's because I didn't possess the identity of somebody that could be a business owner, right? So I could never turn it into a full-time income. And I went to California, and because my mom moved to California, she basically left everything behind in Pennsylvania, moved to California, and I went with her, and I was essentially just sleeping on her couch, or sleeping on her floor. She didn't have a couch. So I slept on her floor, and I was looking for jobs. I ended up finding a sales job. Lo and behold, ended up traveling, around California, and I saw a bunch of stuff and blah, 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 blah. I decided to move back to Pennsylvania, and I connected with one of my good friends. I lived in his brother's room, and I rode his dad's bike to work. That's how I got around. I had 2 suitcases, I had a bike, and I had a Chromebook that I got on Amazon, and I started my business. Now, to paint the picture for you, I was 23 at the time now, at this point, not college educated, had literally no skills. I was fucking dead broke, and I was working at like a tax office place, like filing people's local taxes. And I rode my bike to that job. So I worked my way up slowly, and the next few years were a grind, and I worked a couple manual labor jobs. And then the last job I was at, I basically had enough. The way that I explain it was like I was like narrowed down by suffering. I had worked so many bullshit jobs. I had experienced so much BS by that time, terrible breakups, financial distress. One of my childhood friends took his life, which was a very profound moment for me. And I came to the point in my life where I essentially didn't care about anything. I'm sure you guys have been there before. And I hated my life. I had no time to do anything, and I had no money, and I had no energy. So the 3 resources of energy I didn't have. The 4 sources of energy. Coffee, that's the 4th. I'm just kidding, but and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There was one of the last days at that job, I broke down in tears. I broke down in tears in my work truck. It was a Ford F-350 stake body. It was stake body, guys. It means that the back of the truck is just a flat bed, like a flat wood bed with like, a metal frame. It had like a 600-gallon water tank on the back, and I had a hose connected to it that I would with a green spray gun, I would spray fertilizer on these people's lawns in New Jersey. I cried because I felt like I was wasting my life. I knew that I was supposed to be someone greater. And I know that you watching this video have felt the same way. Like at your job, you would not be watching this video if you didn't have that feeling. Where you're at your job or wherever in your business. Let's say you are a coach already, whatever, at your job in your life where you're like, fuck, dude. Like, I'm better than this. I can be better than this. And I'm not. And it hurts. and you have regret and you're confused. And maybe you don't know exactly what to do. And that hurts even more because you're like, what the fuck? And then you're like, well, who do I talk to about it, right? Because you're like, well, I don't want to be a pussy. And you're like, well, am I being a pussy? Right? Should I just follow through with this, or should I quit? Right? You probably had that conversation with yourself. Just being real with you guys, right? And I started to realize that the conversations in my head were going to dictate the way that I operated in the world. And I started to have different conversations in my head when I was on those lawns spraying that fertilizer. And I said, okay, well, hold on a second. No one can tell me anything about myself that I don't already believe. So any negative belief that I have, it's because I believe it about myself, and that's why it would be negatively affecting me. And in the inverse, any positive belief that I have of myself, that would be positively affecting me. So I started to really think about this, right? Because you guys all have this belief system already embedded. See, now it's just about nurturing it. You probably didn't know this. Because if you're at your job, or if you're somewhere where you feel like, well, I feel down, I feel like I'm not where I want to be, it's because you have a belief that there is untapped potential within you. Right? You have a belief system that says, this ain't it. This isn't enough. Now, not to discredit, right? Because everyone will come in with their objections, right? And people around you, they'll say, well, just be grateful for what you have. Of course. I'm not saying you shouldn't. Well, I mean, like, I make $70K a year. It's like, yeah. I'm not saying that that's bad. But you wouldn't be having these conversations in your head. You wouldn't be thinking these things. You wouldn't be fucking feeling like that at your job or in whatever current situation you're in, feeling like there is a gap between where you are and where you want to be. So when I left my job and I started to build my business, I had no fucking idea what I was doing. It didn't matter. I didn't need to know how. I didn't need to know how, and I didn't need to know what. I didn't need to know how to do it, and I didn't need to know what to do. All I needed to know and what I needed to practice was, who do I need to become? The who needed to align with the goals that I had for my life, the vision that I had for my life. Which brings me to my next point. And this is why most men stay broke. Why most men are stuck. Why, if you have a business, why it doesn't fucking grow. Why you're at your job, why you just can't seem to make it work. This is why. See, you think it's a tactic issue, and it's never that. It is literally an identity alignment issue. There's no congruency between what you want and who you actually are. You follow me? Okay? So when you act like a guy who can't afford shit, you show up like a guy that doubts himself. When you think discipline is enough, but your beliefs haven't upgraded, then your income won't either. And you can't build a high performance coaching business with a low performance mindset. You can't build a desirable life with an undesirable mindset. You can't do fucking anything if the conversations in your head are negative. And if you don't think and act like the person that you want to be. Are you guys following me here? A lot of you probably already by this point, you're probably having a light bulb moment. You're like, oh, I identify with being a loser. That's why I keep losing. See, I think I have it all figured out because I have the strategy and I know I have the goals written down, right? I'm crystal clear, Gabe. I'm crystal clear on my goals. I know exactly what I need to do, but I just need to do it. People tell me that shit all the time. How many times have they told you that? You fitness coaches, how many times have they told you that? I know exactly what I need to do. I just need to do it. Because that's not the fucking difference, dude. The difference is the actual identity shift that you have to go through. Now, what most people on the internet will do at this point is they'll just be like, so that's what you need to do. Follow for more value, guys. Subscribe. But I'm not going to do that. And what I actually did was I put together a 4-step framework that you can implement literally right now, by the way. So grab your notebooks. I'm sure you're watching this on your phone. If you're not, write this down, okay? I promise you, literally, it's my promise. I can almost guarantee that if you do this, you will within minutes feel like a different person. But if this becomes a part of your daily practice and it becomes a part of who you are, then you can actually attain success. This is about breaking past the roadblocks, guys. This is the practical, the action that you need to engage in, okay? This is not just fucking motivational talk and words and thoughts. This is like you doing shit, okay? So, step 1, okay? This is called the belief purge. I need you to ask yourself these things. What are the 3 things that you believe today, right now, that we'll say the 50K a month version of yourself would laugh at? What are 3 things that you believe right now that the $50,000 per month version, think about what he acts like, what he looks like, what he wears, what he drives, what kind of girlfriend he has, how he operates, right? You make 5K a month right now. What is 50 like? You make 4K a month. You make 10K. What is 50 like? Okay? 3 things that you believe today. Write them down. Okay? I'll give you an example. If you're a coach and you're like a regular typical bodybuilding coach, you probably are thinking, I need to lower my prices to be affordable. That's the opposite of what I do in my program. Or I'm scared to sell. Okay, well, it's weird because the thing that you're selling, fitness coaching, is the thing that you're selling anyway, whether you fucking say it or not, because you literally wear it. Get what I'm saying? People will think I'm arrogant. I don't want to. Okay, hold on a second. If you're a fitness coach and you're selling fitness coaching and you want to get someone in shape, is it arrogant to talk about the benefits of being in shape and how that's positively affected your life? What if the ripple effect of that is that someone who's fat and out of shape sees that and is like, oh, I have a little bit of an inclination now of what it may feel like to actually experience that for myself. How is that ever a bad thing, guys? See, this is about changing your beliefs. Like a lot of times, I'll have conversations with my elite clients, and I'll be like, they'll say, "Yeah, man, I just feel like I'm not interesting," and I'll be like, "Why?" They're like, "I don't know." I'll be like, who told you that? It's like, well, no one told me it. It's like, then why would you think that? Well, it's because I don't have 1 million followers. It's like, well, you're not gonna have. It doesn't. First of all, you don't need 1 million followers, and you're not going to have any fucking followers or anyone give a fuck about you if you don't actually get out there and do your thing and express yourself. So I hate to say it too, especially someone at my level. Any type of, anything you say to me, I can break the belief on that because I'm like, well, I already broke past that level in my business, and I've seen people do it too. So you're basically saying is, you don't think you can do it. Other people have done it. You just don't think you can do it. Do you understand the difference? Okay, so step 2, right? So step 1 is the belief purge. What are the things that you believe that your leveled up version would laugh at? Okay, what are the negative things that you believe that you need to get rid of, right? Purge them, write them down. Step 2, the environmental domination. Audit your circle. Who the fuck are you texting right now? Who's in your iMessage right now? Are those quality people, right? Who's in your DMs right now? who do you surround yourself with at your job? Who are you taking lunch break with? Who are you hanging out with on the weekends? What type of girls are you dating? And people may think this is shallow, right? But why the fuck do you think if you hang out around a bunch of dudes that make $5,000 a month that you're all of a sudden going to make 30K a month, 50K a month? Well, I'm not going to. Well, why do you think hanging out around people that make 5K a month is going to somehow magically get you to 30K a month? Right? And you have to realize something, that those people that make 5K a month or less or somewhere around that or whatever, right? If they're not actively trying to make more money every day, then guess what? They think it's okay. And if they think it's okay, then they're never going to understand why you think it's not okay and why you're trying to reach for more. And they, unfortunately, what happens is you're going to let them create a glass ceiling around your potential. So audit your environment. Stop hanging out around low-level people. This doesn't mean you need to abandon anyone that's below a certain income level, but you do need to audit your circle. You need to be careful who you're around. Because guess what? Someone that makes $5,000 a month and is okay with it, that doesn't mean that they're a bad person, but guess what? It likely means that they absolutely do not share the same belief system about money, and they're not going to call you to greater heights. They're just not going to. That's okay. But then it's up to you to make that decision. Again, the most cliche quote ever. You're the fucking average of the 5 people you hang around the most. Why the fuck do you think if all of your friends don't make any money, you're going to all of a sudden make 100K a month? Think about it, guys. And if you're the fucking richest in your friend group, guess what? You need to find a better friend group. Just saying. One of the most profound quotes, and I actually forget where I heard this. Maybe you guys can figure out the quote, but is men become their surroundings. Like, this could be good or bad. So it's so important. It's also really important to put your fucking ego aside and not think that you're just that good, that you can no, I stay intact no matter what. I don't let anyone get in. It's like, you don't have no idea. Things are happening subconsciously that are being downloaded onto your brain all the fucking time, and it's solely because of the things that you're around and the things that you consume. That's another part of your environment too, is the content that you consume. You need to check your shit. You ever think of that? It's like, wow, why do I think negatively? Or why do I think, why is my income not changing? It's like, think about the things that you're watching. Think about the things that are in your environment. Okay, so step 1, the belief purge. Step 2, environmental domination. Step 3, daily embodiment rituals. Okay, this is where it's going to get practical. Every day ask, what does the highest version of me do today? And then do it. Now, I'm going to give you some examples. Okay? And you can do one of these. And ideally, do it immediately after the call. Drop a free value post. You can post it on your feed. You can post it on your stories. Do a CTA on your stories. Literally. Call people to message you. Show a client win. Show a loss. Literally, show a fucking loss. Oh, hey, one of my business partners just did this the other day. This dude makes 50 grand a month, by the way. He said, oh, I didn't get approved on the house I wanted. It fucking sucks. I feel like shit about it. This dude's making 600 grand a year. And he's telling his audience he didn't get approved for a house. Right? Why? Why is this important? Because this individual embodies what? The identity of someone that creates value through relatability. Right? He's vulnerable because he knows what? He can relate to his following if he's real with them. The daily embodiment rituals. Think about it. If you can embody someone that has the identity of, oh, well, I'm just here helping other people. I'm here helping. Then you're never going to care to be vulnerable. You're never going to care to show your wins. You're never going to care to go out there and be real with those people. And I mean never care as in it's going to be natural. It's going to be fluid. It's it's going to be something where you're like, yeah, it's just a normal part of who I am. It's who you are. The who does the what. Get what I'm saying? You can willpower your way into doing anything, yeah, for a little bit, but it's not sustainable. And we're talking about changing the man here in this video, okay? And then step 4, proximity to power. Okay, so let me explain something to you guys, okay? I believe that there is a fundamental problem with the way that men view money and view success. And what I mean is this. I'll give you an example. I hear too much, and maybe it's in this day and age, and there's always going to be men like this, but I hear men that say things along the lines of, well, I want to make money, but I don't want to be salesy, right? Or I don't care about money. I just want to help people. Or success isn't everything, right? And at the same time, those people that are saying those things, they want to be successful. They want the money. They want the material things, right? Yeah, they want to help people, but also they're dead broke and they're scared every month because they can almost just barely pay their rent. Why is this important? It's because you will never actually dominate in life and in business until you normalize power. To elaborate on that even further, you have to feel what it is like to be powerful. You have to feel what it is like to win, to be a winner. You can't be afraid of success. It's the weirdest thing ever, right? It's because people will go, well, yeah, I want to be this and I want to be that, but then you look at their actions and it doesn't align at all. Right? Guys, you have to understand something. One of the greatest quotes of all time from Spider-Man: "With great power comes great with great power comes great responsibility." Right? I fucking butchered that quote. It's so true. You have to be ready to take the reins. You have to be the guy that's going to do it. Okay? Money moves faster than your standards do. Money moves faster than your standards do. So if your standards aren't high, then you're never going to make the money that you want to make. Like, I'll give you an example of this. If your goal is to make 10K a month and you make 10K a month, it shouldn't be like, damn, I did $10,000 in a month, or I'm so surprised. Like, gee, how did I even make that happen? No. You would be like, well, of course I did 10,000 because my standards yield a $10,000 a month earning potential. Oh, okay. That means that it was never about setting a goal to $10,000. It was more so about having standards that are so high that you would never dip below $10,000. Do you understand what I'm saying? Something that I said in the beginning of this call. I said, where the fuck was it? I forget where it was. Yeah. Where was it? Oh, yeah. Where the fuck is it? Anyway, along the lines of, again, keeping this real and raw. Along the lines of, if you don't believe, then you will never become. Okay? Wow, that was like, oh, dude, dang, dude, that sounds so real, man. Dang, that's a real quote. What does that actually mean? Where does the belief come from? Like, guys, it's okay to admit that as a man, for something to be real, you need to have proof of it. Okay? You only have proof if you have a standard that elicits a certain response. Again, this is not complicated shit. It's just that most people don't want to confront this about themselves. Is that, hey, proximity to power. You'll never dominate in business if you don't normalize power. Money moves faster than your standards do. You literally have to keep your standards high as fuck. So it's never about setting a goal to 10K. It's always about having the standard be, well, I never drop below 10K. If I did drop below 10K, that's below my standards and it's unacceptable. So some things that I want to talk about, okay? I know that there's a lot of guys that want to build their business and that want to change their life, and they have families, right? And a lot of people, they have their reason is, oh, I want to take care of my family, and I don't really care about money, and I just want to make an impact. You need to get rid of that belief system right now, once and for all. And here's what I mean, okay? Everyone has bills, right? At the end of the day, even if you're a single guy with no family, you have bills, you have responsibilities, okay? You have to understand the danger of playing it smart. Playing it smart, and more specifically playing small, right? Because when you play small, you have to understand something. Like, it doesn't guarantee your success, but it essentially guarantees that your family will pay for it. And what I mean is this, is if you say that you don't care about money, right? But you are watching this video, and there has been situations where like your kids have asked you about money, or asked you to get something, or asked you to buy something, and you literally couldn't fucking do it. Or you single guys, or maybe not single, your girlfriend or a girl that you wanted to take on a date, you literally couldn't. And then another guy who had more money than you did take her out. That's happened to me before, right? Again, I don't have kids, but I have probably like 75% of my elite clients are fathers. Okay? And all of them had to break that belief. It's like, no, I need to stop having this moral high ground and acting like I'm noble because I just want to help people, because my just wanting to help people, I'm not helping people, right? It's like, wait a second. Well, I just want to take care of my family, so I'm going to play it safe. And I'm not going to like do anything out of the ordinary. I'm not going to stretch my limits. I'm not going to do anything that scares me. Then that's the opposite. Because if you want to take care of your family, as a man, you do need to stretch your limitations. You do need to reach out. You do need to go harder. Again, this video is all about breaking beliefs, and I want you to understand this. Because why? Because I actually care. Like, I've seen it so many times where people try to take a moral high ground and they go, well, I just want to help people. It's like, well, okay, well, how many clients do you have? Well, 2. It's like, well, how bad do you want to help people? Well, really bad. It's like, that's why I'm not focused on the money. Well, dude, you have the wrong idea, man. The person that makes more money has helped way more people, especially in this business. The person that has made more money has made more money than you because he has helped more people than you. Listen, I understand this business very well. And I know that you wouldn't be watching this, if you didn't want to grow your business. And the truth is like, you probably have gotten to the point where you're like, well, I don't want to be a guy that's just like trying to do this business and like posting, especially if you're in your 30s. Guys, I'm 29. I've been doing this thing for like 10 years. And it was like cool and like cute when you're like 20 years old. But when you're a little bit older, admittedly, it can be embarrassing if you don't know what you're doing. right? And when I say admittedly, because I mean, I was trying to do this again after taking 17 breaks at 25, and I was embarrassed because I wasn't getting the results. But then I realized, I was like, if this is about helping people, then I don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks. And that's really when I started to make money. So regardless, guys, the whole entire point of this video is because I wanted you to have an identity change. I wanted you guys to understand that you need to make a hard decision about who you want to be in your life. I wrote some notes here, and I I've noticed something about my life. My life is a series of opportunities that come and seem a little fuzzy at first, but they show signs of promise and they show signs of potential and growth. I'm never fully ready. I'm never fully clear on the path ahead. But I know that one thing's for sure is that when these opportunities have came into my life, I've harnessed them, and it is the sole reason why I'm a seven-figure entrepreneur today and why I have a Lamborghini parked outside and I live my dream life. So guys, with that being said, I want you to understand the importance of changing your identity. Take this advice, apply it. Yes, I help business owners build their fitness coaching businesses, right? I help bodybuilders, I help personal trainers. Yes, that's what I do. Yes, we have the client testimonials, we have the proof, we have the blah, 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 blah. Like, that's not what this video is about, guys, because the truth be told, and this may even take away from me, but I don't care. None of that matters. None of it matters. It could be the best program with all the bells and whistles. You can have the best coach. None of it matters if you don't go through the identity shift that's necessary. That is a requirement to be a successful man. Trust your heart. Trust your gut. Take this video and apply it. And when you're ready, I'll see you on the other side.